Hey guys, welcome to the channel and thank you for watching. The Champions League is back this week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Get ready. So many games. And don't forget to join us. Football in Details channel. FID, Football in Details. Not here, but in another channel. We're going to be live. Call-in show as always, meaning the link is always provided for everybody, no exception, to click and call us before the game, during the game, and after the game. All right, so I will see you there. Football in Details YouTube channel. So we have a lot of games to talk about. So this is my preview for Tuesday and Wednesday. So let me remind you what's gonna happen, and we're gonna go back to some details about each game and my predictions. On Tuesday, we have Galatasaray against Bayern Munich, Sevilla against Arsenal, Union Berlin against Napoli, Inter against Salzburg, Lens against PSV, Benfica against Real Sociedad, Manchester United against Copenhagen, Braga against Real Madrid. And let's check what is going to happen on Wednesday, October the 25th. Let's go. So on Wednesday, we have Feyenoord against Lazio, Barcelona against Shakhtar, Celtic against Atleti, PSG against Milan, Newcastle United against Dortmund, Leipzig against Red Star, Young Boys against Manchester City, Antwerp against FC Porto. Now, let's go back and start talking a little bit about the details starting on Tuesday.
Fight and win!
Galatasaray against Bayern Munich. What a game of football this one is going to be, my friend. Galatasaray got probably the best fans in the world. The atmosphere over there is out of this world. So, form guide here, look at them. Galatasaray won their last 5 games. Bayern Munich won 4 games out of 5 and they drew 1. Head to head, which means between the two teams in the history of the Champions League, they played I think 2 times, and Galatasaray lost once, drew once, and lost, and they never won against Bayern Munich. So if they beat them, it could be the first time ever that Galatasaray beat Bayern Munich. But I think this game is going to be very tough. And I see a draw here, 2-2 at the end. Sevilla against Arsenal. Form guide. Sevilla drew 3 games in the last 5. They lost 1 game and they won only 1 game. Arsenal, they lost 1 game. They drew 1 game against Chelsea and the rest being 3 wins. Head to head in the history of the competition. You see, they played like, 2 times, right? Arsenal won once and Sevilla won once. So in Europe, they are really very close in the, in the Champions League competition. Sevilla playing at home. Arsenal, they lost the last game in the Champions League. I think Arsenal are going to win away 2-1 against Sevilla. Union Berlin against Napoli. Union Berlin are not doing good at the moment. You can see here, form guide. In the last 5 games, Union Berlin lost all 5. Napoli lost 2 games and they won 3. So Napoli are really far better than Union Berlin. And I'm afraid it's going to be another loss for Union Berlin. Napoli 3, Union Berlin 1. Inter against RB Salzburg. Inter, who won 3 games, lost 1 game and drew 1 game. Salzburg, they lost 2 games, they drew one game, and they won couple games. They don't have any history in the Champions League, so we don't have like head-to-head here to compare them. Inter to win 2-0 against RB Salzburg. Lens against PSV. Remember the last time Lens managed to beat Arsenal. So Lens are very, very good at home. They have one of the best fans in the world. The last 5 games, they won 3 and they drew 2 games. PSV won 4 games. They drew only 1 game. They don't have any history in Europe, so we don't have head-to-head here. So the fans are going to push, and I think Lens are going to win this one 2-1. Benfica against Real Sociedad. Let's check on some statistics. Form guide. In the last 5 games, Benfica won 4 games and they lost once. And Real Sociedad also lost only 1 game and won 4 games. We don't have any statistics here when it comes to head-to-head because they never played together in the Champions League. I think Benfica are going to win this game 1-0. Manchester United against Copenhagen. United need to wake up, and to be honest with you, they've been doing much better than the starting of this season. So they lost 2 games in the last 5 and they won 3 games. Copenhagen, they lost 2 games, drew 1 and won 2. Very tough game. And in Europe, head-to-head here, you can tell United won once and Copenhagen won once. That is the history in the Champions League. I think United are going to get the job done. They have the momentum now. They are winning games that they are not supposed to win. So I think they're going to continue the momentum. United 3, Copenhagen 0. Braga against Real Madrid. Wow, what a game. So in the last 5 games, Braga won all 5s. And Real Madrid, they drew 1 game. The last one was against Sevilla and they won 4 of them. But to be honest with you, I think they don't have any history in Europe. They never played in the Champions League, so we don't have head-to-head comparison here. I think Real Madrid are going to win this game away 2-0. Let's move on to Wednesday, October the 25th. The first game that we're going to discuss is Feyenoord against Lazio. Form guide. Feyenoord lost only 1 game in the last 5, but they won 4 games. The same for Lazio, who won 4 games and lost once. In Europe, head-to-head comparison, I think Feyenoord won 1 time, and 1 occasion it was a draw, and Lazio never won against Feyenoord. Very tough game away in Holland for Lazio. But Maurizio Sarri been doing very good lately. I think this game is going to end up by being 2-2 draw. Barcelona against Shakhtar. So Barcelona in the last 5 games, they won 3 games and drew 2 games. And Shakhtar won 3 games, they drew 1 game and lost 1 game. Head to head in the same competition, Barcelona got like 2 wins for them. Shakhtar got 2 wins. And they never drew any game in the Champions League when they meet against each other. I think Barcelona are going to win this game. It's going to be a 3-1 victory for Barcelona. Celtic against Atleti de Madrid. What a game this is going to be. Okay, let's check the last 5 games. Atletico won 5. They are very good at the moment. And Celtic lost 1 game in the last 5 and they won 4 games. In Europe, in the Champions League history, I think Atletico beat them 1 time and they drew 1 time. So clearly Atletico are better than Celtic. Let's be honest and let's not waste our time here. I think Atleti are going to win away at Celtic 3-1. PSG against Milan. The group of death. Remember, PSG lost the last game against Newcastle United 4-1. That was total humiliation. And this time around, I don't think they're going to put themselves in the situation like that. All right? So look at the form guide here. In the last 3 games, the last 5 games, PSG won 3 games. They lost 1 game and drew 1 game. And AC Milan, they lost 1 game. They won 3 games and they drew 1 game. So it's perfect here. They are equal in terms of form. Head to head in Europe, you have here PSG. Oh my goodness, they haven't won yet against Milan. So 2 wins for Milan and 2 draws. I think PSG are going to beat Milan. They're going to win 2-1 against AC Milan. We have Newcastle United against Borussia Dortmund. Newcastle United won 4 games in the last 5. Dortmund did exactly the same. We don't have head-to-head comparison in Europe because they never met before. So it's going to be the first time that they meet in the Champions League. If Newcastle United were able to destroy PSG, I think they can also do it. They can completely destroy Dortmund. This game is going to be a 3-1 win for Newcastle United. RB Leipzig against Red Star Belgrade. The last few games, let's go. Form guide. Leipzig, they won 2 games. They drew 2. They lost 1 game. And for Red Star, they won 4 games. They drew 1 game. But I think Leipzig are going to be too strong at home in Germany. They're going to beat Red Star 4-1. We have Young Boys against Manchester City. Young Boys. Listen, do not underestimate Young Boys because sometimes they can pull up an upset. Manchester City been doing really bad lately, even though they won the last game in the Premier League. But I think Young Boys are gonna get destroyed. Yeah, they're gonna get destroyed by Manchester City. Almighty Manchester City, champions of Europe. 3 losses and 2 wins in the last 5. Manchester City 3, Young Boys 0. Antwerp against Porto. A 2-2 draw at the end.